Frankie, does that do something to you?
Yes, sir. I love that jam,
Now, I
man.
just got a question for you, Frankie.
What's that?
Does that do something to you?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
A little bit of brick in the house. Welcome everyone to the Rolling Grimes Show live. Beauty and the Beast version. Missing my beauty once again tonight, Frank. But you know what?
What's that, homie?
I got my dog with me, Roof.
Roof.
Frank, man, how you doing? How's your week been? How's your life, man?
Oh, man, things have been great.
Let's get right into it, man. You've been doing some acting.
Yes, sir, I have been.
Where and when and why?
That's a whole lot of stuff you're asking at one time there, son.
I know, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, I was on TV about 2 weeks ago, and I think you showed the clip the last time I was here, and that was for... Excuse me?
I said true that.
True that. It was for Copycat Killers on Reels TV. That's REELZ. It came on Saturday at 10 o'clock. I played a detective and I had some great lines, so that was nice. And I'm working on some other projects with John Pallotta.
Okay.
Yeah, and filmmaker Marquise Dixon. They're doing this joint venture of this movie called Gangsters.
Okay.
And it is a comedy, so I'm working on that. I have an audition this Wednesday for a commercial, so I'm kind of busy.
Man, all right. So look, for those individuals, I'm gonna move your camera a little bit so I can get a split screen.
All right.
But while I do that, tell those individuals who have an interest in getting into acting, commercials, those kinds of things, man. What steps should they take?
First, don't do it. That's first. Don't. I'm telling you from experience. Do not do it. I have friends all the time who say, "Yo, Frankie, man, I see you on TV and movies and commercials, and tell me how to get into that." And I always tell them the same thing, like I'm telling the radio audience right now: don't, because it looks glamorous,
Right.
but it's not.
Okay.
It's a lot of long hours, and sometimes up to 16-hour days. It can be very monotonous because of the retakes of the same scene over and over and over until the director gets what he wants.
So by the time you see the end product, you're about like done.
You're done, exactly. And the money, let me tell you right now, is crap. You probably make more money on your job that you have right now, you know, as a paper boy, than trying to live off the royalties of doing acting. So unless you were a big time star, but everybody else gets chump change. So with that, let me just start with that. So unless you have a love or passion for doing acting, don't waste your time. Trust me, do not waste your time. But
now, with all of the wondrous things you just mentioned, what the hell are you doing?
Because I have a love for this.
Okay.
I have a love for this, and I have a separate income that I live on. Because if I had to live on doing, background acting or featured acting, you would starve. Period. Gotcha. You would starve. But because I have a passion for this, I really do. But if you even after I told the radio audience what I just said, you still have some inclination to be stupid and really want to do this, then I suggest get a pen. Because I'm going to give you some information. Get a pen.
Some of us want to be stupid, so let's talk about it.
Okay.
So, folks, listen in. Frankie J is telling you, get your pen. And then
get a pen, because I'm going to give you some information. You might want to write it down. So let's start with that. Give you an example. There are several websites that you can actually join, and these websites will give you casting call information and stuff like that, and how to apply for a gig based on whether or not you fit the particular role or cast member they're looking for. So I'll give you an example. 4-Star Casting, that's 4 FOUR star STAR casting. They cast for Empire. And I'm sure people are familiar with Empire with Cookie and Lucius Lyon. They are filming in Chicago as we speak. And if you go on Facebook and type in 4-Star Casting, there's also a listing potential dates where they need extras. Again, the cost of travel to Chicago is on you. If there's hotel stays overnight, that is on you. So they're not going to pay for that.
Gotcha.
But anyway, another casting company is called Sirens Media. That's Sirens.
Yeah,
Sirens Media. And for Sirens Media, I've done and still do, thank God, a lot of work for them. And they do shows like For My Man and For My Woman on TV1. They also do Evil Twins on ID channel. As a matter of fact, I just did a film for them for ID channel, right? And that should be coming out, I think, in September or November. There's another casting company called Story House Productions, STORY House, HOUSE Productions. And they do shows like Copycat Killers on Reels TV, that's REELZ, if you're familiar with that TV show. And they do Thou Shalt Not. They do several other TV shows. And what I would suggest is that you go to these websites and just follow about how to join as an extra or featured extra. It's not rocket science, but again, it's going to require a little legwork.
Okay.
Another casting company is called Marinella Hume. Marinella is MARINELLA. Hume, HUME, castings. And they do stuff like Netflix House of Cards, which I have been on at least 2 or 3 episodes every season. I love working for them because they have a very phenomenal craft services. Craft service, in case you're wondering what that means, they feed you, and they feed you extremely well. So anyway, last but not least, there is a actual a website you can go to that sends directly to you casting calls within the Maryland, D.C., and Virginia area. So if you have your pen, you should write this down. It's www.DragonUKConnects. Let me spell that. DRANGON UK Connects, CONNECTS.com. DRAGONUKCONNECTS.com. www.DragonUKConnects.com. Anyway, I suggest you join it. And if you wrote all that down, good for you.
Well, some folks just did.
I hope so.
I know that for a fact.
Really?
Yeah, man. Some people just did. So let's fast forward the tape now.
Okay.
You said it's something that you like to do, man. I'm glad to do what you like. I'm glad to see you being able to do what you like to do. What's happening on the comedy scene, baby boy?
Oh, actually, I'm so glad you asked about that. I was actually doing some stand-up last night in Frederick.
Okay.
And it was a place called the Cellar Door.
Okay.
They had a great audience, man. They had the headliner. It was a outstanding show. As a matter of fact, Mickey Cuccinelli was the headliner, and he did 2 hours, man. He was
2 hours of stand-up?
Yes.
Whoa.
As a matter of fact, he was supposed to do an hour, but he was so good that people didn't want to leave, so he just gave them more and more and more. He was outstanding. As a matter of fact, all the comedians that night were very, very good, including yours truly. Right. I had a good time, had a great set, and people seem to enjoy that.
And you did it, and you didn't have to smoke weed or nothing?
No. I had a couple of drinks. I did. I had a couple of drinks, but and a couple of my actor peeps showed up, and they gave me some support. It was really fun hanging out with them.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, after the show. Yeah. And as usual, we met some very attractive ladies after the show. Like, oh, Frankie, you're so funny. Can I buy you a drink? Like, yeah. We had a good time with them, and baby, and nothing happened. You know,
I really look forward to coming. One of these days, I'm just going to not come in here.
Okay.
And piss whoever's off supposed to do their show, and I'm going to come check you out. But you have to forgive me, man, because this engineering thing that I'm doing for other people,
yes, sir,
is really consuming a lot of my time, energy, and personage, just to make sure that this thing continues to float and roll. We're gonna take a station break.
Okay.
I got to go outside and I got to check on some things real quick.
Okay.
And we're gonna do something else that you'll like.
Uh-oh.
They call me Drac. Here I come, baby. I ain't gonna bite you. I just want you to hang on. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Can I do a shout out?
let's do a shout out to my man.
Alan Greenstein, son. What's up, boy? I see you saying, hey, guys, I'm here. Oh, and also, Alan says, I love being behind the scenes on set. Yeah, Alan. Alan is the go-to guy for behind the scenes stuff. He works the camera, the boom, the mics, whatever you need. Alan's like the man. So, Alan, thanks for being a fan, my brother. Love you much, man.
So tell. You know what would be nice if I could turn my mic up.
Yeah, turn your mic up, man.
My mic sounds nice anyway. So you tell my man. And so for those of you who couldn't hear me earlier, I was on the wrong mic. This is what happens when you're engineering, chief cook, bottle washer, and trying to host a show.
And host.
So let's start all over again. Good evening, folks. My name is Roland Bubba Grimes here on the Roland Grimes Show. I'm your chocolate date on a Monday night.
Yes, sir.
I am once again very happy to be here on the Beauty and Beast version. My beauty is not here tonight, Coach Tanya. We love you.
Love you, T.
Keep doing what you do. And I have my man Frankie J in here tonight. And Frankie J just gave us some lessons on how to get into the acting business.
Yes,
and
I
his
did.
primary recommendation was don't.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then, of course,
Don't.
he's doing some comedy. Well, we have a big show coming up, bro, me and you.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Sir. August 12th.
August 12th. Black Box Theater.
Black Box Theater. August 12th. You have a special role, man. I can't wait to see you do this thing.
Yes, sir.
Man, we're
Yes,
going to
sir.
talk about it during the week, and we are just going to wow them with this.
Yes, we are.
Oh, man. So because, see, for those of you who haven't seen Frankie J did a little skit back in the day.
Back in the day.
Man on the Street or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
Man on the Street. Yeah.
And he stopped in on random people, and he had conversations with them about real-life issues, and the thing was just absolutely hilarious.
I thought it was, man. I thought it was
So
funny.
we're going to do some of that at the Black Box.
Oh, yes. Please. Can we? Yes.
Man, they're not going to be ready for it.
No, they're
So I'm
not.
excited about that. In addition to that, August 12th, my man, DJ Drew. Now, Frankie, you haven't had a chance to check out DJ Drew yet,
Not
right?
yet.
Let me tell you something.
Lay it on me, bro.
Now, I am very, very biased toward DJs. My man is Graham Cracker, DJ Graham Cracker.
Graham
Out of
Cracker?
DC. He is my man, 50 grand all my life.
Okay.
But DJ Drew is something special.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, he can hit any genre of music from the 1950s and 60s to today and not miss a beat on it. Like, he knows this stuff, man.
Wow.
I've never seen such a music aficionado, you know, on an R&B tip as this dude. And he's got this personality, man, that he likes to engage people. So he's not one of those DJs that get behind the thing and then get all idiosyncratic. You know?
Idiosyncratic.
Right.
Y'all look that up.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So he's not stuck in himself. He likes engaging the people.
Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like a little version of Bubba.
A little version of Bubba.
So man,
Bubba Light.
So dude, I get DJ Drew, and then we're working on our live entertainment, and right now, you know, I'm putting my last bid in for the Conga Players United.
Oh.
The Heartbeat Conga Hour and those guys,
Oh,
man.
wow,
who,
man.
Who helped break out with that go-go swing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
remember that thing?
Yes, sir.
Well, now I want to get as many of them guys that play with Rare Essence, EU, Trouble Funk, and all
man.
that, as many as possible in the house. Around the drummer and just let them come up there and do their thing, man.
Oh, that'd be off the hook, brother.
We had it planned out for the July 8th show. It was a wrap. But then, of course, since I had to cancel the show, then we had to figure out where we go from there. But in addition to that, I'll be doing some work at Syracuse University, coming back together reunion in September. I was asked to do some footage during that
nice.
reunion. And if everything still goes according to plan, I'll do some work up there for that. Let the Roland Grimes brand be known once again in Syracuse.
Yeah. What?
Now, hot off the press, man, we're getting ready to launch a couple other signals, man. So not only we have eLife Media,
Really?
yeah, we got a couple other signals coming.
Oh,
we have a couple
man.
other venues coming.
What?
So we'll be able to change the scenery of what we're doing.
Oh, man,
So we're
I'm
gonna-
excited.
Yeah, so we're going to come off like the mob in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, smell my finger.
Yo,
We're
what?
getting ready to come off like the mob.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir. And ask me why.
Okay, why?
Because I
Roland?
don't give a funk.
I don't give a funk.
I just, when I get to a certain point
Uh-huh.
in my brain,
Yes, sir.
the next part of my brain kicks in. And that part of my brain is insane. And then I just don't stop till I drop. So I don't know if you noticed dropping.
Oh yeah, man, you've lost some weight there, son.
You know, that's your responsibility to give a report to the people.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. Roland is shedding some pounds, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm very proud of you, brother.
Thank you for your help. You know who you are.
Yep.
You know, so I'm
Okay.
so I'm working on that. You know, I'm drinking my celery water.
Oh,
and,
celery, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No.
I lied.
Okay, no. No, you're not.
I drank it twice. I drank it twice, and my intestines looked at me and said, "What the hell are you doing?" I was looking at myself. I was saying, "Why are you acting like this?" It's like, "Why are you drinking that?" You know, so it's an acquired taste. It's gonna take a while for me to get there, but like most things, eventually I'll get there. What else do we have going on? Actually,
Football season, man, coming through soon.
my
Man.
man
Come on.
Dujanay Bland is going to be calling in.
Well, come on,
sometime,
Dujanay,
right?
man. Come on, homie.
And he's supposed to get anywhere after 7:20. He's
Okay.
actually got to do his NFL report at
First.
7:45.
Right.
No. So he's supposed to call us before he does.
Before he does that, okay.
But let's get into that real quick. Man, football season has now begun.
Yes.
And I don't know, I really want to deal with this Colin Kaepernick thing because there's a lot of black folks saying that they just not going to get into it this year because of the way that the NFL owners have blackballed and their minds have blackballed Colin Kaepernick. And I think this is my man here. Hold on for a second.
Yes, sir.
So if that's the case, I'm going to kind of play a dual role. Dujanay, that's you, baby?
That's me.
There it is.
What up?
So I'm kind of going to take both approaches.
Okay.
I'm going to deal with the NFL, but at the same token, I'm going to deal with the responses from NFL executives toward Colin Kaepernick,
Okay.
not just in the football realm, but really more of what they said. See, I don't care, never did care if NFL coaches or owners didn't want a player. That's their prerogative. But what I did have an issue with is when they came out and made statements against him as a person and said, we're not going to have him here because he's a black eye. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, with all the stuff that you've dealt with, you know, in the NFL. Now, this brother all of a sudden is, you know, the persona non grata because he took a knee.
He's disruptive.
First of all, he sat down, he didn't make a spectacle of himself.
He did not.
Somebody asked him a question. He answered the question, and then it became a firestorm, right? But here's the thing, civil disobedience, of which many of those owners of NFL teams participated in their day, and that's not even civil disobedience. That's just a civil expression.
Exactly.
He just said, I'm not going to stand up during the flag. But anyway, so I'm in both camps right now. Yeah, we're going to have the NFL coverage, but I'm also going to keep that dialogue going about how black community is responding to it. So I put a little thing on Facebook today and said, if we could start our own league, would y'all invest $100 a piece?
Sure.
And of course, a bunch of people said, sure.
Sure.
So if I can get 100 million people to do $100, we're going to have our own league.
Right.
Dujanay, would you be my Howard Cosell if I started a new league?
Absolutely.
Man, first of all, welcome to the mothership. Dujanay Bland, my man Frankie J is on the scene.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Frankie? How's it going?
I'm good, man. How are you, sir?
I'm doing really well.
Well, I know you have an appointment in about 15 minutes, and Coach Tanya didn't know you was going to be on because she'd have known she definitely would have been here because you were one of her favorite commentators in the whole world. So I'm gonna pimp you in the future and let her know that you're gonna be on because
Pimp
as
you
much
in
as
the
I like looking at Frankie, I love looking at Coach
Yeah,
Tanya.
we know.
You know what I'm saying?
We know.
You know, and she's a cancer baby, so that makes it that much better. And I squared that away with her husband. He said, it's okay. You can look at her for 45 minutes once a week. So we good with that. All right, man, look, I'm going to hit you between the eyes, man. Give me the controversy first. What's going on in these camps around the country that's controversial? If there's no controversy, then we'll get into some football X's and O's. Talk to me, baby.
Well, I'm going to talk about Baltimore and their lack of signing Colin Kaepernick. And you can disagree with the stance that he took, but I find it really preposterous when we have a guy in the name of Ryan Mallett. Ryan Mallett, who's done nothing in the NFL, getting a job or getting the opportunity to step in for Flacco as he nurses this back injury. And he's only supposed to be out for possibly at least a week at the minimum. But Ryan Mallett, The guy comes out in practice and throws 5 interceptions right out of the gate. I mean,
In practice?
but yet we have a guy in Colin that, yes, did he only win 1 game last year? Absolutely.
No, that
But
team
look at
only won 1 game last year.
Exactly.
The team was horrible.
He threw 16 touchdowns. Colin threw 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions last year in 11 games that he played.
Wait a minute.
In 11 games
He
that
only
played.
threw 4 interceptions?
Only 4 interceptions in the 4 games that he played. I mean, in the 11 games that he played.
You know, that's enough of a resume to get a shot almost anywhere as a backup.
Anywhere.
Exactly.
That means-
Blaine Gabbert in 5 games threw 6 interceptions and only 5 touchdowns. So what does that tell you?
Right.
Now, this guy doesn't have a job. And what really kills me, what makes this controversial, is Steve Bichetti, the Ravens owner, has the nerve to say that, that they want to win games, and that's what their focus is. Then Ryan Mallett just showed up here, off the couch a couple days ago, is going to say that, we're not worried about, we're just worried about the Ravens right now. If he comes, cool. If he doesn't come, cool. We really don't care about that right now.
He's talking about
Well,
Flacco or is he talking about
because
Kaepernick?
I'm talking about Ryan Mallett, who makes this statement
Wow, okay.
in reference to and Colin coming to the Ravens or not. Now,
Okay.
the Shetty, he has and says that they want to win games. Well, I don't know if you really want to win games, because if any reason that this lingers, this back injury lingers into the season,
You got a
you
problem.
mean to tell me that you're looking to win games with a guy who has done the exact opposite and losing a lot of games in Ryan Mallett, but yet you're not going to sign a guy in Colin who not only is a step above, way above Ryan Mallett, he's also a step above Joe Flacco.
I agree with that.
Well, I can guarantee you one thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can guarantee you one thing. Quarterbacks with back problems don't last very long during the season.
You got that right.
That's the one injury that quarterbacks cannot afford to have. It's similar to a golfer or even a baseball player, where your position requires a lot of torque.
Right.
And when you
I
get
thought
hit,
you could look.
and when you get hit or you get sacked, the impact, one of the places that it jars the most is back. Don't believe me, you talk to Troy Aikman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anytime you talk about anything from the neck down to the tailbone with a quarterback, that's the most, that they can have a knee problem, and still plant just enough to throw, or ankle problem. But when you start talking about the back, after 2 or 3 weeks, if you have a sore or bad back and you're not even playing football, it's hard to get out of bed in the morning.
Exactly.
So I guarantee you he can't survive a whole season. So the deal with the Ravens, are they making any kind of actual statement that they're not going to sign Kaepernick because of who Kaepernick is, or they just actually believe that Ryan Mallett or whoever else they want is actually going to help their team more?
Now, see, this is the thing. This is the kicker here. Now, players in the locker room absolutely are okay with Colin coming to Baltimore, and being the backup there, and if need be, being the starter for them until Joe can get healthy. But it is the owner who says that he asked the fans and people to pray for them, and that they're taking the fans' side on this, in the sense that if you looked at Twitter exploded when an individual was talked about Kaepernick coming to Baltimore, and fans was like, no. And they are actually taking the fans' opinion on this and listening to them, and it's obvious because that's why Ryan Mallett has been signed and is in Kent right now.
I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Me either.
Where the vote of popular opinion among the fans affects who they bring in as a player. That's unprecedented. What about you?
Well, I kind of liken this to a few situations
Ray
we've
Rice?
had in years. Yes, and also in years past in Washington, D.C., in reference to the quarterback position there.
Billy Kilmore, Sonny Jurgensen.
Hey, and see, when this happens, usually, when this happens and you go against the grain and it fails, usually guys like that get fired.
Right. Right.
Fans will get you fired. Listening to the fans will get you fired. As simple as that.
And if it doesn't work, the fans will. And if it doesn't work, the very fans who ask you to do what you did, after you do it, they will turn on you for doing it.
Oh, absolutely. In a heartbeat.
Yeah, this is going to be a party. Frankie, man, what else is going on in the world of NFL, man? Any other controversy, Dujanay?
Other than that, we do have the incident.
Dallas Cowboys, right?
Elliott. That, just when you think that things are going well, and they are, as my guy Stephen A. Smith says, they are an accident waiting to happen. And that accident just happened again, just as the offseason comes around. You have Ezekiel Elliott, you have 2 or 3 of their defensive players.
Dujanay, turn your background monitors down for me. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Turn your background down for me. Right, so now their accident waiting to happen, and then they decided to drive the car into the cliff when they cut Lucky Whitehead the way that they did.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That was just a freaking... That was a public relations nightmare.
Disaster.
What's the backdrop of that story, Frankie, as I understand it, is this.
Is what? This
guy, through mistaken identity, it was said that he robbed somebody and got arrested or something, right? Or they arrested him for shoplifting or something like that?
Yes.
And they got the wrong guy. They had the wrong identity, something. Somebody stole his identity. I can't remember the exact story now. But anyway, he went to Jason Garrett. The coach said, Coach, believe me, that wasn't me. And from what I understand, Jason Garrett said, I don't believe you. It cut him.
What? Oh, that's horrible, man.
Now, is the story any different than what I just said, brother?
No, it's not.
Wow.
Oh, that's horrible, man.
And once again, they find themselves in this conundrum that they're always in as far as players getting in trouble. And that's not a good look, really, when their defensive backfield is not
as
decimated. It was last year.
It's decimated. So now what you have is a situation where, again, now you have favoritism being played because you give Ezekiel Elliott, which I agree or disagree with, doesn't really matter, a lot of latitude and a lot of, let's wait until we get the final verdict, right? But then you take a guy like Lucky Whitehead, and then you basically shoot him in the knee. Just so
it shows you how important you are.
Okay.
It's more important to the team, really.
Right. So what happens in that situation, Frankie, in most locker rooms, the players start getting very nervous about their relationship with the organization when they see that kind of partiality. You don't see a lot of that in the Belichick team. You see a lot of that in organizations like the Cowboys. Dujanay, is that a fair statement?
That's fair.
And what happens is it starts to divide the locker room, not necessarily verbally. It won't come out in the press. But even in college, when I saw certain players that seemed to be getting, like one guy could fumble 4 times in one game and start the next game. Another guy could fumble 1 time in 4 games and not see the field the rest of the year. So what that does is it makes you a little bit distrustful.
A tiny bit, a smooch,
yeah,
a smidgen.
And it really does affect the way you play.
It does.
Because now what you're trying to figure out is, am I going to be one of my coaches favored or not? And it doesn't have to be the head coach that's making that decision. It can be the position coach. So which ring do you kiss? Which ass do you kiss so that you can maintain your position? That's a tough thing. And Dallas Cowboys, them being such a press-hungry organization from the ownership on down, they just can't afford a whole bunch of publicity nightmares. Would you agree?
Yeah, they can't afford that, especially as tight as the division has gotten. And really, honestly, on all levels, New York Giants, the Redskins, the Eagles have all gotten better, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And Dallas has gotten worse on the defensive side of the ball. Now, I will make this statement too, though. Last year, they weren't that talented on defense, but yet Ron Marinelli deserves a ton of credit for getting the most out of very little. They weren't deep, and they didn't have a great front seven, but they found a way. But in turn, they also didn't have to be.
They weren't on the field that much. Because Dak Prescott changed
the game. Yes, he did.
Changed that whole organization,
yes, he
bro.
did.
Absolutely.
Yes,
He changed that entire. Look, they played most of their defense on the other side of the field.
Yep.
You know, because even if they punted, by the time Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, between the two of them, got 2 first downs. Now when you punt, the other team's getting the ball at the 15.
Right.
All it takes is 2 first downs. Because what? You get the ball at the 30? You get the ball at the 30 right off the break, right?
Exactly.
So now 2 first downs, you had the 50.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, so they kept flipping the field, and they kept pressure on other teams. The defense didn't have to come through. I think that the special teams sucked too, didn't they?
Their special teams they weren't bad.
Okay.
They weren't as bad as the Redskins, that's for sure.
Shut up.
Well, I will disagree with you. I will disagree with you publicly.
You saw that. See, you all got distracted. Shiny things.
All I'm saying is that Everlasting Life has some of the best blueberry and lemon cake around.
Boy, shut up.
That's all I'm saying to you.
Boy, shut up.
All right, so now check it out. I will disagree with you on a couple things. When you say to me the Redskins have gotten better, and that means they got better on paper, I guarantee you that somehow, some way, the Redskins will stink up the joint.
Yeah, I love you too.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, so I know, so I just told you.
Despite all of the nonsense that's going on this offseason and the terrible handling of Scott McCloughan and all of that, when you look at this team from top to bottom, they have a lot of talent.
Thank you. I think we do. And we're going to make it to the playoffs, if you ask me.
And it's not just, and I'm not talking about looking at the starters. It's going to be, I really hate the fact that they have to cut players because in every position, especially the important positions on defense where they lack the front line from defensive nose guard to defensive end, the linebackers now, even at cornerback, they are deep. And even on the wide receiver, everybody's like, oh my God, we lost, Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon. But they have some talented individuals in that locker room behind the Terrell Pryors, the Josh Dobson. They have depth there. A lot of people that just people don't really know because they haven't had a chance to touch the field. But they have a lot of talented players from top to bottom. I hate to be a coach on that team that has to make final roster cuts. And I think what we can expect a little bit this year, especially on defense, and I think that's the focus. We know the offense was top 5 last year, despite the fact that they really didn't win a lot of games. The defense was horrible, being ranked 28th overall. And Greg Minuski has a job cut out for him, but he has a full cupboard now, especially in those important areas on that front line, in the linebacking core. That's where the Redskins suffered. And when you don't have a consistent pressure there, of course, your secondary, your guys on the outside, and your safeties, they look bad because, I don't care who you got. You can have, 5, 6 Josh Norman's out there.
You got me and Frankie.
Any pressure and the quarterback has got all day. Well, guess what? More than 7 seconds, and he completes the pass.
I agree with that.
So they could probably even throw on me and Frankie J, right? With no upfront rush. So look,
it's easy.
Before it ain't easy to throw on me, man. All right, so look, before you move on to your next thing, man, are you going to tell me again that the Jacksonville Jaguars are the team to beat like you did last year?
It's really sad, and I really hope that they can do something special this year because when you look at that roster from top to bottom,
there you go, the roster again.
They do have a lot of young talent. Now, like we all know, it's very important for teams to be able to get the best out of the guys that you have. Unfortunately, that coaching staff didn't do such a great job getting the best out of the guys they have. I think what's going to help, though, is that now that you have Coughlin there to kind of stabilize things and get things going in the right direction, because everything comes from the top down.
Right.
If your top isn't good to go,
right.
It doesn't matter what you have as far as talent. You can have some of the best people on the field,
right.
But things are just not going to work as well. And you're not going to have to be able to have that continuity with the staff being able to get what they need to get out of the guys on the field. I think in that division, it's not really a tough division.
Yeah, the division sucks.
Top to bottom.
Right.
Anybody in that division has a shot.
Right.
But I really do think this year, though, they have to have more than 3 wins this year.
So who's the team to watch then?
So,
who's the team to watch?
I personally, I'll give you one for each division.
Okay.
In the NFC East, I say watch the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank you. Boom.
A young quarterback that has weapons around him now. They're going to retool that defense. Got some young guys now. I think they're going to be a team to watch in the NFC East. When you look at the North, I really think we always say, come on, Detroit. But I really think Minnesota will have an opportunity this year. I know they lost Adrian Peterson, but I don't think they're going to miss much from that. I think this is a system now that I'm not a real big Sam Bradford guy, but he did a decent job in his first year, and I expect him to excel from that. They have talent on the outside at wide receiver. Their defense is right there. They just were missing a few pieces, and I think they got those this year, and I think they'll be a team to watch in the North. When you look at the NFC South, I'm going to say Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Really?
When you look at what my guy Winston, Jameis Winston has done in last year, and he didn't have a whole lot to work with there, especially in the running game, wasn't consistent. Now you got a guy like Deshaun Jackson who can stretch the field, along with the other guys that he has on that team. It's going to be tremendous. You got O.J. Howard there, a good solid tight end, a pass-catching tight end coming out of that Nick Saban, tree there. He's going to be good for them. I think Tampa Bay will definitely be a team to watch there. In the NFC West, Seattle. I mean, maybe you could say the Chargers, but it's only one team in that division, really. I think the Chargers will probably do a lot better than 4-12. They had some significant injuries at the wide receiver position that really hindered them from really excelling. They have the quarterback, obviously. Their defense was pretty good considering that they were out there a lot. But I would go with the Chargers in that division, but I still think Seattle's going to win the division.
Okay.
In the AFC East, I really like Miami. And I think we've been saying that every year, being that they've had plenty of talent, a lot of young guys, just haven't gotten it all to gel. And I think it finally clicks this year, and maybe they can get themselves in a position where they can win, because they had a 10-6 season last year. Maybe they can win the division this year over the New England Patriots. It's going to be tough, but I really like what they have there in Miami.
I love it.
You look at the NFC North, and I would go with Cleveland. And
Cleveland,
the reason why I say Cleveland is because I like Hugh Jackson. I thought he was the right guy for that job.
And LeBron is playing wide receiver?
I'm
just saying.
I really like everything that they have there. And I thought they had good pieces last year. But they had a lot of guys leave as well. When you have that kind of turnover, it doesn't always, translate into wins. And you have to take some falls before you can build up. I mean, that's a team that's been through, been in the dumps for many years, and it's going to take time to get it out. So I think if they give him enough time, they'll definitely improve this year and look a lot better because they were competitive even though they were 1-15 last year. And I think the AFC South, I'm going with Jacksonville with the AFC South. I'm going to go with them again. I like the talent they have on defense. They've been building that for several years in their draft pick. I think if Bortles can come on, and there's been some reports that Bortles have been playing pretty well, didn't throw any interceptions in practice. we're talking about practice, but
At least he didn't throw 4 like Ryan Mallett, right?
exactly.
All right. Well, look. I know who's going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Who's that?
Who's that?
The team with the most wins.
Oh boy, shut up.
That's what.
Boy,
And
shut
number
up.
2, trivia question before we go.
All right.
Who did Jacksonville Jaguars' current head football coach block for in college?
I haven't got a clue.
I think he blocked for you.
And why do you think he blocked for me, Dujanay?
Because he's an Orangeman, too.
No question.
Is that true?
The head football coach at the Jacksonville Jaguars was my offensive tackle.
How about that, man?
Doug Marrone.
Wow, small
Yeah.
world, son.
And Tom Coughlin was one of the Orangeman coaches, if you recall.
Yeah, that's right.
Back in the day with Randy Edsel, because Coughlin recruited Randy Edsel to Syracuse.
They need to get the old gang back together. They need to hire you as running back coach.
Okay, so what they really need to do is take the old gang out the pasture and shoot us. Right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, at some point, the old gang is the old gang for a reason. It's time to pass the torch. It's time to pass the torch to Marvin Harrison and some of them young guns, David Walker. Let them come on in, do their thing, man. Let us sit back with a stogie, right, and some red wine at Frankie's house, and let's watch the game and act like we're act like we're experts, right? Drink our smoothies, right? Drink our celery water so we can keep losing weight. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case I didn't tell you, Dujanay Bland is the best dressed reporter in the entire world.
I believe that.
Slim, nobody has a wardrobe like him. I have threatened him every year to hide in his closet while he's at work. But I haven't quite gotten down to a 1XL to wear his gear. Dujanay, man, so you going on the payroll, man, in September. You're going to be part of the Rolling Ground. Yeah, Frankie, you're going to start getting paid in September.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm broke.
I know. So what happens is we're taking on some sponsors.
Sweet.
And what's going to happen is, there'll be some gas money and some cake money to start.
Good, nice.
But we start someplace, and then we plant seeds and we go from there.
Yes, sir.
And see where it goes. But hey, man, Dujanay, we'll talk again. I think I'm back on the air middle of August. I think we take the next 2 weeks off, and Sherry and Mignon does her thing. So right about the middle of August, we'll have some preseason games on our belt. Let's see what's happening, man.
Yes, sir.
That'll work.
All right.
Sounds good.
Hey, man, stay black. I love you, Frankie J.
Yes, sir. Love you, man.
You got something to say?
Love you.
Hey, keep it doing, man. I love you, buddy. All right.
All right,
Love
man.
you too, bud.
Holler at you in a minute. I'm going to take you out on some Tony Terry and DJ Rico for your DC roots, brother.
All right.
Take my mic. Take my mic. Take my mic. Take. Tony Turn, take my mic. DJ Rico. Wait a minute. KO Productions, we putting it down, baby. Sing it to 'em right here, Tony. I got a feeling I can't ignore. Girl, I've never been so sure. Needing you more and more.
Couple of DC boys in the house. Tony
Yeah.
Terry, my man DJ Rico. Man, I always tell the story, man. These cats made this record 17 years ago,
Okay.
and it just started playing. Go figure, man. But I guess better Nate than Leather. Frankie J, man, says we get to wrap up and get ready for Hakita Success Scholar.
Yes,
I
sir.
made a couple of commercials. Can I share them with you?
Please, man.
All right, here we go. Let me see. Now, everybody that's listening, you can vote and tell me whether or not you think any one of these commercials are worth a darn. All right, Frankie, you give me thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yes, sir. I will
Ready to
do
roll?
that. I'm
Here
going to
we
be
go.
John McCain. Yes.
You're going to be John. I'm sorry, I'm going to let that go. Here we go. Well, first of all, I got to get rid of Tony Terry first.
Yeah.
Tony, I miss you already, brother, but you got to go. All right, so now, Frankie, let me see if I can
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
reverb this and do it again. Here we go. Here's commercial number one.
Number one.
I played this for you already?
No.
E-Life Media, the ultimate media outlet, broadcasting live radio and TV worldwide, powered by live music for you. Catch us at www.elifemedia.net. E-Life Media, the ultimate media outlet, broadcasting live radio and TV worldwide, powered by live music for you. Catch us at www.elifemedia.net.
So, Frankie,
That was pretty good, though.
thumbs up or thumb down?
I like that. That was good.
Can I keep it?
Yeah, thumbs up on that one.
All right, so let me get you back on camera so people can see you again.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Thumbs
All
up on
right,
that
so
one,
thumbs
bro.
up on that one?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we're going to do
Number two.
Number two, here we go. So I needed to know because if they're okay, I'll be making some more soon.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Here's the next commercial.
At E-Life Media, we own Mondays. The NFL owns Sundays, but E-Life Media owns Mondays. Kicking off your week with Peace in the Morning Show with Darius A. Stanton, 9 o'clock a.m. Monday morning, followed by the KIM Keep It Moving Show 2 with Kimberly Robinson, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Monday morning. 2 o'clock p.m. Chopping It Up with the Irritated Genie. First and second Mondays, it's time for change with Sherry and Mignon as they discuss domestic relationships. 34th Mondays of every month, it's the ROLAND GRIMES Show Live Beauty and the Beast version with Coach Tanya and Frankie J. Ending our Mondays with the Success Scholar. Holla at the Success Scholar with my man Haki Ami every Monday night, 8 to 9 p.m. ELifeMedia.net. We own Mondays, the ultimate media outlet, broadcasting live radio and TV worldwide. Share with everyone you know, powered by live music for you. Coming soon, the football report as we get ready to strap it up with my main man, Dujane Bland.
All right, Frankie.
Actually, I like the second one better.
You like the second one?
Better
Really?
than the first. If you're asking my opinion,
Man, that's why I asked your opinion.
I like the second one better.
Awesome. I thought the second one is slower, but it still gets it done.
I like it, man.
All right.
You asking my opinion?
So let's see if we can do one together right now. All right, ready? Here we go.
We're doing one. Really? We are?
Yeah. Me and you
I'm not
do it.
prepared, but okay.
I know. That's why I'm doing it. All right, we're doing impromptu commercial. So now,
Yes, sir.
let's see. Let's talk about our shows for the week. All right. So I'm going to tell you the show, and then you put it into a commercial. Ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Every Wednesday, we start Wednesday morning off with Peace in the Morning Show from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. with my man Darius Stanton. It is Got to Get Over the Hump Day every Wednesday. After that, we follow up with the Power Hour with Dr. Baruch and Chris Murray.
Oh, yeah.
So, every day, every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, we have the Power Hour with who?
I don't know.
Dr. Baruch. Dr. Baruch, Chris. All right, so do a commercial for the ROLAND GRIMES Show then, Frankie.
Yo, here on every Monday, we have the ROLAND GRIMES, Bubba Grimes show with the chocolate troglodyte. The Beauty and the Beast mode. And guess who's the beauty? Frankie J.
All right, so
I'm just messing
all right,
with
so we got to put some lubricant on that
Yeah,
oil.
you know that, man. Yeah, I need scripts.
All right.
I need a script.
All right,
I'm an actor. I need a script,
all right,
damn
so,
it.
Right, so here we go. Tell me the very next comedy show you're doing, and I'm going to make an impromptu commercial.
Okay,
out
the
of
very
it.
next comedy show I'm doing is in New York. It's at the Broadway Comedy Club.
Tell the truth.
New York, Broadway.
Let me see his face. He wanted to say, Nick, I ain't lying. He almost called me Nick. You almost called me the N-word. I saw it in your eyes,
You saw
man.
that, man? Like, what the
He
hell?
was getting ready to call me the N-word.
No.
Shame on you,
No,
man.
Yes, I was going to call you Ninja. Yeah, what the hell?
All right, go ahead, man.
No, really, Broadway Comedy Club in New York.
And
Yeah.
Any idea the date?
Actually, it's going to be in August. I think it's August 3rd. It's the right date.
Was it like 4 or 5 days?
No, it's
Today's July 31st.
right. It's
So August 3rd is 4 days from now.
yes, I think that's the right date.
So you're supposed to be in New York in 4 days. It's probably good for you to know that.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So my man Frankie J is going to be on the scene as a headliner.
I didn't say headliner, man. Come on
Okay,
now.
it's my damn commercial. Headliner
I'm
comic.
headlining now. Okay,
Headliner
yeah, all
comic
right.
At the
What?
Broadway Club in New York City.
That's right.
August 3rd at 4 o'clock in the morning. So all you got to do is be there. My man Frankie J. Frankie,
Boy,
man.
you stupid.
Frankie, man.
What?
You know what?
What's that?
You see me outside, I'll be like watching the people and ready to go to sleep when you show up.
What?
But every time you show up, I find the funk.
Yeah, you
so look
do,
at,
man. Find the funk, man.
Let's get Haki and me, the Success Scholar, ready to roll.
Yes, sir.
And I think I'm going to take you out with some cosmic slops.
Good.
Doom.
Let's find that shiny object you were staring at a minute ago. Let's find that shiny
Oh, you
object.
mean that blueberry and
Yes,
lemon cake?
you're gonna find that cake, man. Yes, sir.
It was definitely a big piece of cake.
Big piece
Your
of cake.
ass will follow.
What?
Let me see, in case you didn't hear that.
Free your mind and your ass will follow.
Free your...
Would you like to dance with me? We are doing the cosmic slop.
All right, folks, once again, thanks for tuning in, bro. Thanks for tuning in again to the Roland Grimes Show Live. Beauty and the Beast version. Roland Bubba Grimes, Frankie J. Say goodbye to the peoples.
Good night, peeps.
See you in a minute. Bye-bye. Get ready for Haki, the Success Scholar. I
Haki.
keep wanting to see Haki the Dream. You know?